Vivian Guzman. Life hasn't always been easy. I have felt alone, displaced, like an outsider. The world needs a place of belonging, which is why I created Dishin'It.
Cheers! Cheers!
On Dishin'It, I cook foods from around the world. My guests share their stories, and we inspire the world.
The reason I save marriages past, present and future is because I want it to be that lovely, cute 80-year-old couple that you see still holding hands is the norm. Welcome to Dishin'It.
Hi, I'm Vivian Guzman. Today on Dishin'It, we have an international sensation who had 2 near-death experiences that gave him the gift to rewire or repair your genome. How? By tapping into your frequency. Massati is the CEO of XI, or Exponential Intelligence. Prepare yourself. This is next level stuff. And for many of us, we're gonna learn something new. Mas will give you mas or more. We are gonna cook his national Afghan dish, chicken pulao, and talk about frequencies and his inspiring work. Welcome to Dishin'It. Oh my goodness, we're making chicken pulao. It's an Afghan dish. We have Massati who's gonna make it with me. We're gonna make it for Faye.
We're gonna make it together.
What's the first thing I should do after the olive oil, which is obvious?
Onions, saute, to a little light brown till they melt or caramelize.
I guess what we could do in this time frame is that we could season the chicken a little bit. Do you want me to put it on the chicken? Why don't or in the pot maybe? You want it on the chicken? All right, we'll mix it a little bit. Soaks into it?
To the flesh. It's really...
This is Mas's tip, to put a little bit of the fuego in there.
Fuego!
Fuego!
You need that spice in life, right?
And this is cumin, right?
Cumin, yep.
Okay, I'm gonna put some here.
And I never measure. So when I cook, or like my mom and my aunts, we never measured. I just learned cooking by just watching her.
That's why I'm not a baker either, and that's why I love cooking, because we can use what we like the most. So I definitely added a little bit more cumin than not, and I love coriander, and so this is gonna be really good. Why are we making this dish, Maz?
Well, it's an actual Afghan tradition. For the Afghans, it's not just about food, it's not just about nutrition. You know, businesses come together. If you're gonna do business with somebody, you have to eat with them and see how they are. In the family tradition, unfortunately, again, the women do the cooking. But in our family, we were all involved.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
3 of each.
3 of each?
Yeah, so we're 7 total.
What? Talk about a big family.
That's a lot of help, right? That's a lot of help in the kitchen.
Well, you know, that's a lot of help in the kitchen. It makes it easier to cook together. And you have to cook together because you got to feed an army. You guys are an army over there. I am one of 8, and I'm the youngest child, so I'm the 4th child. Really? Tell me about exponential intelligence. What does that really mean?
Well, exponential intelligence is literally like a handbook on how life is created. It's kind of like the physics principle. For example, fire. You know, we're cooking with fire. You'd have to have the 3 components of fire to make a fire.
So how can you help me elevate my XI-ness?
By telling you to stir because it's burning.
Oh! That's a good beginning.
Yes. But to be really, really happy, you have to be in space and time. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, right? If you look at it in life, people are always going forward. I got to go do this to be happy. I got to go do this to be happy. But are they really happy? No, they get really drained out. You know, even success drains them out.
So how do you help somebody fast track their way into?
By reprogramming them.
Oh, that's, you know,
pretty easy.
So what do I need to do right now to
well,
do I need to change? Do I need to change my frequency? Damn.
You've heard the concept of the best ingredients, and this food is very delicious and everything, but the best ingredient of it is love, your frequency of love, your essence, right?
I love that.
That's pouring into the food, and that's what people actually really crave and desire. But so much so, like fast food, there's no love in it.
There's
So that's
no
that main
togetherness,
frequency of
there's
love.
no connection that's really being
Absolutely.
made. So that's why I'm so happy that you're here.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, dump it in. Look at you, getting all burly here.
Oh yeah.
What are we gonna put inside, Mass? What are we putting inside? So this is some saffron. We're gonna give it
Yes.
some nice, beautiful flavors.
Beef
Some
stock.
beef stock, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So this will give it some nice color too that we're hoping for. And I'm just gonna scrape the little bits over here. I'm just gonna get nice and dirty up in here, you know what I'm saying?
Smells so good.
So tell me about your
really
mommy
good.
and growing up.
Oh, she was such a great lady. She had the plump cheeks, and she was just, I don't know, that storybook mom that you read about.
Were you a troublemaker? Did you stay out till way late out in the night? Did you give her
I
a
was
hard time?
troublemaker, but a nice troublemaker. Not like heavy trouble, but just like the excitement of being a teenager.
Where did you go to school? What state did you grow up in?
Back in '68, when the Russians came in, when they started invading Afghanistan, we left. My father was a doctor here. He brought us all over, the immediate family, my two oldest brothers. They stayed back in Afghanistan. We came here in 1968. Coon Rapids, Philly, so I went to school there, and it was kind of scary, actually, because I've never seen, no offense guys, white people before. So that was different.
Oh my God.
Everybody was like dark-haired, dark-skinned, and then, you come into the school system and everybody's like, I was the darkest person there, so it was
you're in
exciting. And
Michigan,
I had no clue of the English language.
Oh my God, Mas, I have to try it.
Was it good? So good. My father, he really cool, well, I guess a workaholic. So he didn't spend much time with us kids, although, as he got older, with my kids, his grandkids, he spent a lot more time, and really, was.
What kind of doctor was your daddy?
He was a general surgeon and physician.
And
He was actually a brilliant doctor. He was the first kidney transplant in the University of Minnesota.
wow.
That team. My mom was just like, be nice to people. So work hard and be nice.
Do you make this at home today, this dish?
When my father was around, we used to go to his house like every week, literally, and just hang out. We would make, these Afghan dishes, and it was really beautiful.
How do you keep the tradition alive today?
It seems like that tradition is carried on into my house as well, where, my kids, friends, they all come to our house.
What things did you carry on from your family that you no longer carry?
Well, the work that I do, I don't age.
What?
Normally.
What do you mean you don't
I
age?
don't age. I'm 88. No.
Okay, so you mean exercise is gonna make me younger? Like what?
Absolutely.
What?
Oh yeah. It makes it younger. So the way my mama used to do it was have a napkin on top, and it absorbs all the moisture.
Okay, so I add the napkin?
Yeah, just put it on top.
Oh my God, this is so cool! It smells so lovely.
Oh, it
This
smells
is
great.
so heavy, this Dutch oven. Can you take it and put
Absolutely.
it in the oven for me?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mom.
I am so excited.
I know.
We made kabuli palau.
Like arroz con pollo, like chicken biryani, but it's your Afghan version. So it has all the beautiful caramelization of the carrots and the raisins that you see here. And I made an Afghan meal for you. So you have the sabzi, which is the spinach. You have some dal, which is actually Indian, a split gram. And I have some eggplant here, which is called lagatak in Afghan culture. And then you have some chicken. So let's dive in, shall
Let's dive
we?
in. Looks beautiful. Beautiful colors.
Thank you.
Beautiful frequencies. It's like a orchestra of flavors. Well, you got the sweetness of the rice, of the carrots and the raisins, and then, you got the saltiness as well, and then the rice in itself, the texture and everything. Really nice, really beautiful.
Faye, I'm so excited that you were able to make it today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Tell me how you two met.
It's pretty romantic, actually. I think she tells it best.
I always take my time and tell a really long version, but the short version is when mommy and I were his client when he first started his practice about 10 years ago. Yeah. Well, my mother has this back injury. It was a hit and run accident. and really messed up her back. And she's tried everything, but couldn't heal her back at all. And she was almost debilitated with life. You know, there was no solution other than surgery. But I didn't want to have her go through surgery because lots of people have spinal surgery, they'll never be able to walk again. Of course, my mother didn't believe any of it at all. You know, as soon as we walk in, look at my mother's like, what's wrong with your back? She's so messed up. I go, oh my God, how does he know? That's how I was so fascinated. He knew too much of things that he's not even supposed to know. Like, just
That you can't look up in Google.
right, you can't look me up in Google, there's not gonna come up.
When I was working on her mom, she would look at her, and she doesn't speak, you know, English, and she just look at her like, what did he get me into?
The next day, my mother called me, and she's like, guess what? I said, what? She's like, I am pain-free. Yeah, I'm like, mother, she's like, I am pain-free when I woke up this morning. It's like nothing ever happened. It's the injury, the car accident, head on, never happened. I'm perfect now. She said I would now walk in the park for an hour, came home, stood in the kitchen and cooked. That was like impossible for her for how many years? 12 years.
By the way, guys, I'm not a doctor. I don't claim to cure in any way, but what I do best is awaken your own natural healing abilities.
So after, I'd like for us to sit down and talk and unpack more of what you do.
Absolutely.
What do you say?
That'd be fantastic.
You actually are into race cars? Did I hear that right?
I couldn't drive my Lamborghini really fast on highway, so I actually bought a race car. It's a real race car. It's not street legal or anything, and we put it up on the track, Brainerd Raceway up in Minnesota, and my son races it. He's a professional racer, and I race it sometimes. It's a blast, and you don't get in trouble.
Have you always been into cars? This is like a side of you that I don't even know.
Oh, I get into speed. Let's just say it. Whether it's planes, motorcycles, cars, you know, snowboarding, whatever it is, it's speed, it's good. Oh yeah, and it's not just about buying cars, but it's about making them better, you know, in every aspect. You know, I used to, you know, redo the interiors, redo the engines, redo the sound system. Again, like, how can I make this thing better?
Maz, you seem like the kind of guy that's self-taught. Is that true or false?
No, very perceptive. Actually, it is. I've been teaching myself, observing. Even when I was a little kid, you know, I used to observe people on how they communicate. You know, when I got older, you know, I used to hang around garages and just like check out, you know, what the mechanics were doing, and that's how I learned how to build cars or rebuild cars. And you know, back then we didn't have the internet. Nowadays, you know, we learn computer programming. You can learn a ton of stuff, you know, just on YouTube, and really fantastic opportunities for us out there.
And how do you think being self-taught helps you today in your organization and what you do?
That gift, as I would call it, has never gone away. I'm an avid learner. I want to be the next potential, you know, the best possibilities out there. So a couple days from now, from the shooting, we're actually going to hang out with about a dozen scientists, quantum physicists, people who study frequencies, people who are really out there, you know, pushing the envelope of, well, improving that human. And they're going to test my abilities. We've got the Faraday cage. They're going to test the frequencies that I generate. That's going to really open the door for other people to go, wow, this stuff's really real.
Your near-death experiences, can you tell me each one and how that affected you?
So before this first near-death, I was searching for life. You know, I was searching for that one equation that explains life, kind of like Einstein. So the first near-death, I had my jaws crushed in a warehouse accident. You know, a young kid at 22, had my jaws crushed, and that really took me into, say, realities where I was out of my body. And you've heard stories where it's like, yeah, you know, like over surgeries, you know, I hover over my body. Well, I was pulled out of my body, and I was actually seeing my body hanging by my jaw, not by my neck, but by my jaw. I'm going, wow, we're really limited in our physical being. And that's the key. And I'm going, well, wow, what am I doing here if I'm supposed to be here? And then that's where this reality of the grandness, the possibilities. Fast forward from 22 to like mid-40s, it was a drowning accident, you know, and that, I got pulled into cenotes. You know, we were cruising down a river on an inner tube. I got pulled out of my inner tube into the bowels of the earth. I was underwater for maybe 8-10 minutes, according to my wife at the time, and that I relived disconnecting from my body. I literally saw my body floating into the bowels of the earth as I ascended into, say, a much, much higher level of consciousness where I started to access all possible realities of what we could be. Almost every time, you're not supposed to come back, but somehow I cheated. You know, I went beyond the veil and then came back to tell about it and actually live from that other side of that veil. And that's where that pure potential of who we are exists here today.
How did that transform you?
Oh, when I came back, everything fell apart. It's like the dark nights of the soul. I went through divorce, I went through illness, I went through bankruptcy. One night, I was drawn into these deep meditations. And that's how I started to learn about my gifts. And I literally died 1,000 deaths. And I'm going, geez, I thought I was going to be, expanding into the possibilities of who we are. And now I'm dying, and I yelled out because it hurt so bad. It was physical pain. I was going through 1,000 ways to die, and I'm going, why am I going through such pain? And whether it's a voice out there or a voice inside me going, well, if you want to learn to help people or heal people, really, you would have to go through those experiences yourself.
You have the Moss experience, you have sessions, you have a book.
I do.
Yeah.
Your Inner Expansion.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about the book.
Yeah. Well, the book is really about, most people want to fix you, or you want to fix yourself. It's really not about that, because you'll never fix yourself. You never fix yourself. It's always about, well, if I fix this, then the next thing, then the next thing. But what about if you just change your channel? Right? So what we actually do is you get fixed really fast, and then you get into your inner expansion where you start to see the possibilities of who you are.
I see what you're saying,
But it's way out there.
It's a little way out there because it feels like magic. It feels quick. It feels like, oh, in 10 minutes I'm going to turn around Raynaud's disease or scoliosis, which is some of the cases that you've talked about, or
Yes.
Alzheimer's or ADHD.
Right.
And that seems impactful and huge. And to me, to have one session to cure that seems unreal, magical.
Yes, and again, I'm not saying I cure anybody, but you open up the possibilities of that individual to heal themselves. And that's really the key. And then it's not just about healing, it's just about bringing your best possible version of who you are. So you don't have to have the strife in the world, you don't have to have, all the lack in the world that we do, and we're still not happy people. To the poorest, to the wealthiest. Why aren't we the happiest people? We're really not. So why is that? And it's because we don't understand who we really are. We don't understand, say, our pure potential or our, say, expansive self. So, with this book, Your Inner Expansion, it allows you to become or understand that you're human. I think we've lost that human quality in who we really are. This brings it in such a big impact that you just expand or burst into yourself.
Because my viewers watching might think that they too need to have 2 near-death experiences in order to achieve the insight that you have or to be able to have a higher level of consciousness.
You don't. I already did it for you. I created a whole new handbook, again, Your Inner Expansion, the book that I've got coming out, that literally teaches you step by step on how to expand into your inner self, the grander version of who you are, without having the near-death experiences.
With this that has this impactful experience that you've had in your life, not once but twice.
Yes.
What is the impact that you hope to have with the work that you're doing? And how is that relevant today?
I've worked on over 100,000 individuals one-on-one, massively transforming their lives. And that's, you can really see the impact of your work. Because as I help one individual, they go, hey, Moss, my spouse feels a lot better. My kids feel a lot better. But, when you really understand who you are at a deeper level, you heal yourself, you heal your loved ones, those loved ones heal their loved ones, and so on and so on. And that's how we really change the world. And it doesn't take, centuries. It could take just maybe 1 or 2 generations. And we're seeing it already with the impact that we have here at XI. Call it the XI family. So.
I like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I think that what you're doing is really amazing and important in today's landscape. I think that you offer hope and that
Yes.
it gives a sense of empowerment to anyone who's outside looking in, hoping to improve their lives and have abundance as you describe and to
Yeah.
just live a better life.
Absolutely.
So, Thank you so much for being today here on Dishin'It, in taking a chance in the pursuit of your dreams, celebrating love, diversity, and inclusion. And thank you all for joining us today on another episode of Dishin'It. And if it weren't for you, we wouldn't be here to share the beauty that Mas is. So thank you for joining us on Dishin'It. So, my producers just gave me these sheets. Tiny questions, tiny answers on Tiny Talk. We got a new segment. 30 questions in 60 seconds. Starts easy, gets harder. The timer started. I have to do this in 60 seconds. Okay,
I have
ready.
to answer it in 60
wait,
seconds.
I got my microphone. And I'm here with Massati. I'm Vivian Guzman, and welcome to Tiny Talks. Okay, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite board game?
Risk.
Dog or cat person?
Both.
Last book you read?
Oh, boy.
Last movie you watched?
Batman.
Last magazine you read?
People.
Ooh, me too. Wait a minute. Name of the first girl you kissed?
Anne.
Model of your first car?
Camaro.
Oh my God. What sports did you play in school?
Gymnastics.
Ooh,
Soccer.
really? You played gymnastics? Okay.
Well-
Ever been fired?
Yes.
From where?
Gosh.
Okay,
which
never
one?
mind.
Target.
Ever been sailing?
Sail? Yes.
Oh my God, 20 seconds. Know how to ride a motorcycle?
Yes.
What's the TV show that you are most embarrassed to admit you watch? Ever won anything?
Yes.
We went through 17 questions. This is Tiny Talks. I'm Vivian Guzman.
Oh, God.
We'll see you next time with tiny food as reward and tiny drinks. Cheers.